for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good, guys? Venom Fire here, back from the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to quick adjust like a pro in Madden 21. This is going to be another beginner style video. I did a coaching adjustments video as well. That was a little bit more beginner, some types of videos that I haven't really done before, but I'm moving into it. And we're going to show how to quick adjust specifically on defense, how to make those adjustments. You're wondering how people do these adjustments, especially if you're new to the game. This video will tell you how to do that as well as what the adjustments do. Very helpful in my opinion. When I started playing Madden, I wish there was a video like this that I could watch to learn rather than going on your own, having to learn to do everything yourself. I think this can be very beneficial to beginners as well as advanced players, both. But before we get into the video, make sure you hit that sub button. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. Appreciate all the support in the month of December. But yeah, go ahead, hit that sub button if these videos are helping. So, coaching adjustments. There's a ton to learn. We got secondary, D-line, linebackers. We go contain. How do I spy? How do I switch players? Pretty much everything, all of your questions should be answered in this video. First things first, I'm going to start out with how do I switch players? Because if you're new to the game, like I was, and when I was first learning, I didn't know this either. How do I switch players? So you probably learned that pressing B or circle is how to do that, but just looking. So I want to go back to my free safety. What do I have to do? I have to press B, 9 more times, go through every single player. No, pretty much what you have to do is you can just press B and you can hold your left stick in the direction that you want. So if I want to go to my left outside linebacker, I just hold down on that left stick and press that B button. So if I want to go to my D end, down and press B. So just hold your left stick in the direction of the player you want to switch to, and then go ahead and press B. So you see I can easily switch between the players, and it's very simple, very important tip, because if you don't know and you're going to be stuck, spamming B like this, you're going to have no time to do those adjustments. So again, very simple thing. A lot of you guys probably knew that though, but again, if a beginner type player, this is trying to appeal to a beginner type player, they might not know that, and that's a very important thing to know. Now moving on, let's just see, how do I even get into the adjustments? You're going to press R3 or your right stick on Xbox. You see in that bottom left corner, we got the pre-play adjustments. Pressing that, you see a ton of different things show up. You see LT, show player, X Factor vision, linebackers, D-line, secondary, audible, defensive keys, and individual adjustments. So we got a lot to go through. But just talking about the right stick in general. For example, watching some of my friends play the game, let's pretend they're trying to audible on defense. They're going to press the right stick to pull that up, and then they're going to press X. But you don't actually have to do this. This right stick is pretty much just telling you what all those buttons do. So if I wanted audible, I don't have to press R3. I can just simply press X on Xbox, and then boom, or square. So if you're on PlayStation, square, but you see just pressing X, I can easily audible rather than doing the extra adjustment of pressing right stick and then X. Saves a lot of time just doing those. And again, the right stick, it really doesn't do anything. But again, if you're a beginner player, it can help you learn what buttons to press for which adjustment. So again, just press X and then you can audible to whatever you want. You don't have to use the D-pad. You can just obviously press LB. If I want to go to a cover 2, if I want to go to man coverage, I can just press X. Very simple. And that's how you see people, quickly audible. So if they wanted to go with safeties at outside linebacker, they could just go X, D-pad to the left, and X again. If you didn't know, you can filter through these formations by pressing X and then that D-pad to the right or left. And you see I can audible to nickel normal. I can audible to 3-3-5, just like this. You can base align to get your coverage a little bit reset. But overall, that's how you audible. Again, talking about the right stick, it's very useless. But let's move on. We're going to start out with the defensive keys. I started out with audible. Let's move on to the right. Defensive keys. Now, what does defensive keys mean? I don't even know what defensive keys mean, but what these things are going to do are they're going to either pinch your defense, spread your defense, you're going to shift your defense to one side or the other. On that left side, you see the shift defense. If I wanted to pinch my entire defense, I'm going to press R1 and down on that left stick. Now, what that does is it's just going to pinch your D-line, it's going to press your corners, and it's going to pinch your linebackers as well. So, that's all, rather than if I wanted to just press my corners, I would have to go through, Y down on the left stick. When I press R1, if I'm already going to do those adjustments, that helps do anything. So yeah, I can spread them as well. If I want to back off my corners, spread my D-line, and spread those linebackers, that's another thing you can do. I'm not the biggest fan of those, but for certain defenses, you do want to press. Nickel normal is one of those defenses that usually you'll want to compress everybody. But usually that's not used a whole lot. Moving on to this right side of the screen, you see you can guess play. You can guess run to the left, right. What run commit does is if I go ahead, press that right or R1 or RB, and then I go ahead and press run up the middle, that's going to run commit. So all my players are going to play the run now. And on offense, if I just run the ball, you see that everybody's going to go. So if they end up passing and you guess run, they're going to get a free touchdown. So it's important that you really never want to do that unless they're on the 1 yard line. Giving a passing touchdown is okay if you want to sell out on the run. But that is how you run commit. You've probably heard people use the term run commit, pass commit. What pass commit does is it's going to be a little bit worse against the run, but it's overall going to give you a little bit better sheds, a little bit better coverage on the back end. It doesn't do a whole lot for your defense, but it can help in the D-line. I've noticed that. But yeah, I don't use those a whole lot. I more so want to focus on those backside adjustments. So you notice usually what you want to do, the adjustment that's going to be most popular in pressing RB, it's going to be the QB contain. So how to quarterback contain, you're just going to press RB and RB again, just double tap it. You now see if I want to pass the ball, I'm going to scramble out, and he's going to contain the QB, Aaron Donald, over there. So that's how you QB contain. Again, it's just R1 and R1 again. Very simple, but yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for our RB adjustments. It's shifting, guessing the play, and QB containing. Overall, very, very simple. Let's move on to our next thing, which will be secondary. This is going to be the key adjustments, how to do everything, how to man this player up, how do I put this player in a cloud flat. So what you want to do is, again, you press Y. So just based on Y, I can either push everybody back. I can press them by pressing Y and down the left stick like this. I can also push them back by pressing Y and up on that left stick or trying on PlayStation. I can base the line by pressing Y in that left stick. What that does is it's going to put you back to how it looks on the player. So on the player, this is how the cover 2 looks. If you base the line, it's going to look exactly like that. If you base the line again, it's going to go back to how it would normally look on the field, the default alignment based on the formation of the offense. As well as press, show blitz, you can do that. It gives off the illusion that you're blitzing someone. This is a little bit of a useful adjustment in certain blitzes, sometimes used. Not used a whole lot, and again, you can always cancel these adjustments by pressing the same button over again. As far as the right side there, you see shading over the top, shading inside, shading outside, and shading underneath. So to shade over the top, pretty much what that does is your players are going to play a little bit over the top. This is used popular in man coverage. You press and you shade over the top. This means that they're going to be in a press position, but they're not actually going to press. So if I, for example, just threw Antonio Brown here on a streak, he's not actually going to get pressed. Even though it looks like Ramsey's going to jam at the line of scrimmage, maybe I think, oh, I can beat him over the top. I snap that ball and you see he's not pressed. He's just going to run straight with him. So that is what that adjustment does. So a lot of people will like to get those receivers jammed so they can't quick throw a drag or a flat route, but also so they don't get burnt over the top. That's a very useful adjustment. And again, how you do that is you just press Y and then that right stick up. Moving on to some other things, if you wanted to shade over the top in zone coverage, what this does is you will see my cloud flats will turn into hard flats just when I press Y and down on that right stick. So here's a look. You see they were cloud flats, now they're hard flats. Now they're going to play underneath. They're going to play the flats very heavy, very aggressively. But not only will shading underneath adjust your actual flat zones, but it'll also adjust how these linebackers and vert hooks play. They're going to play a little bit down low. They're going to play drags a little bit better, hitches a little bit better, but they're going to give up, post routes or seam routes a little bit more often. So again, a common thing I see is people will only think shading underneath is going to adjust your outside guys, but it also adjusts these guys on the inside and these players as well. So be careful with doing that. If I wanted to get rid of my hard flats into cloud flats, all I have to do is shade back over the top with that right stick up. So now they're cloud flats. Again, I press triangle and that right stick up. In the outside shade, outside and inside shade, I really never use inside. I don't think these make a whole big of a difference. Sometimes I'll do outside. If I'm in like man coverage, I'll press, I'll shade over the top, and then I'll shade outside. Sometimes it'll move those guys a little bit outside, especially if this guy was like baseline press. Sometimes he'll show up right here or something. Then I shade outside and then it'll realign. But I don't use those a whole lot. If they're throwing like corner routes, this can help a bit, but it's not super important. Let's overall move on to our quick adjustments. How to quick adjust, this is the main thing, it's in the title. How do I turn my corners into man coverage? So if I wanted to man up, for example, I'm in a cover 2, I wanted to go ahead and man up this slot corner, Troy Hill, on Chris Godwin. What I would do is you press Y, and then you notice when you press Y, you can go ahead and press Y again to quick adjust. So I'm double tap Y, you don't have to press right stick, double tap Y, and then I can select a player. So I would double tap Y, I would press L1, and then I can man coverage, seam flat, hard flat, curl flat. So if I wanted to put him on a curl flat, I would double tap Y, press L1, and push that left stick to the right. Now, these take a long time to learn. When you're starting out, if this is your first time learning, you're not going to be good at it. You got to accept that, but as long as you learn how to do them, you're learning how to do them properly, this is the correct way to do that. You don't want to go ahead, click on, and then put them in a curl flat, which we'll talk about later. That's something that you don't really want to do. You want to typically stay on the same user, because if they catch you on that cornerback, you're going to be in a bad position. If they quick snap you, if they have identifier, that can be a problem. So again, you're double tapping Y, pressing L1, and then you can do a series of things. You can do a seam flat, which is a different zone. Hard flat, they're going to play, more down to the flats. They're going to play more aggressive. Vert hook, that's going to put them in a yellow zone. Curl flat, a little bit of a deeper zone. And then you have man coverage, QB spy, bluff, blitz, and blitz. So to put him on man coverage, you're going to push that right stick up. And then you see we get a series of receivers. I can put him on everybody except X, because X would be a cross man, which you cannot do. You used to be able to, but you can't anymore. So I can man him up on pretty much anybody. Like I said, we want to man him up on Chris Godwin. So I'm going to man him up on R1. Just press R1, and boom, you see he's in man coverage. So again, how to do that quickly? I'll just do it quickly, show you how quickly you can actually do it. So YY, LB, and right stick up and RB. So you see I did it in like a second. If I wanted to put him back in a curl flat, I'll show you how quickly I'm going to do it. I'm going to go, boom, very simple. So I can do it in like half a second easily. To turn them into a curl flat, I'm going to double tap Y again, L1, and right stick up, and then RB. So it's like 5 adjustments, but they're all different buttons for the most part, and you can kind of piece them together in a combo almost, but that's how you do those adjustments. So again, you're double tapping Y. If I want to put X in man coverage, I press that right stick up, push X. If I want to put X in a outside quarter, an outside third, I can push up on that left stick. There's a lot of different things you can do in these zones. I'm not going to go over what every single zone does, but they do different things. And you will see that I'm not going to talk about what they do. That would be more in a defensive video. So in a defensive video of mine, I'll put them in a cloud flat. I'll talk about what the cloud flat's going to do. I'll show the adjustments. But as long as you know how to do these adjustments, those defensive videos will make a whole lot more sense. But again, you're just double tapping Y, Y again, and then I can man coverage. I can inside quarter. I can do all those adjustments. I can blitz. But yeah, just learning how to do that. You're double tapping Y, you're pressing the player you want, and then you can go about doing any adjustment that you want. Overall, that's going to do it for our quick adjustments. Again, just practice these. You can do a bluff blitz adjustment, a little bit of a unique thing. But again, I'm not going to go through every single zone what those do. That would be more of a defensive video. So if you want to learn better coverage, you could just watch a defensive video of mine, and that would be shown. I'm just showing you basically how you would get those up. So if I ever say put, X in a cloud fight, you're double tapping Y, you're pressing X, and you're pushing down the left stick. So I know some people get confused. They're like, how do I man up X on X? This is showing how to do that pretty much. That's the point of the video. But moving on to some other things, we'll hop into our right stick again. You see we got individual adjustment, which is our next thing we're going to talk about. Now with individual adjustment, that's going to be the player you're using. So a lot of beginners I see, instead of going with the quick adjust or putting L1 in a curl flat, what they would do is they would usually click onto L1 and then press A and push that left stick to the right, which is an okay adjustment, but you don't want to be going all over the field and putting these guys in different things. Like I said, you can get quick snapped. You don't want to ever be stuck on that outside corner. I'm okay with going like here and putting those guys in zones like this. But typically, you still want to go with like the double tap method. So obviously with your user, you're using this guy, you're staying on him, you can press A, and then I can put him in whatever zone. Blitzing your user is going to make him run faster, so that's something you want to do. Now, as far as our other adjustments, we got D linemen and we got linebackers. Now with the D line, you see it's going to be the D-pad to the left right there. So what you want to do is you're going to double tap D-pad to the left, because you see just doing it once, what that's going to do is it's going to bring up, again, those same type of adjustments. You're going to spread it. You can shift them to the left. I can shift them to the right. If I don't like that, I can actually reset it by pressing clear shift, which will be my left trigger. And they will go back to their original spots. I can pinch them as well. And this all depends on the defense. A lot of times you need specific D-line, adjustments, points of attack for a run defense or a pass defense to get a better sheds. And again, that will be said in the video you're watching of the defense you're learning. But this is how you do it. You press that D-pad to the left, and then you can go about doing whatever you want. Again, point of attack, so what that does is it's how they rush. So if I slant inside, they're going to play an inside zone a little bit better. If I slant outside, they're going to rush the passer typically a little bit better. Can slant to the left if I'm trying to shoot an inside zone that way. So it's going to open me up probably just a little bit. But again, those will be said in videos. I'm not going to go over exactly what each of those does. You can obviously slant inside as well. But let's talk about how to quick adjust. How do I put my D lineman in a spy? My opponent's using Lamar Jackson, and he's running every single play. How do I stop this? So you're going to double tap the D-pad, because you notice I press it once, and then I get quick adjust on that bottom left again. So you're going to press that again, and then I get all three of my down linemen. This is only a 3-down lineman set, so I only get 3 options. But if I wanted to throw Brockers in a spy, I would press A, and then I could go with whatever I want. I can actually min the D lineman up. It's very similar to almost those cornerback quick adjustments, just obviously from a D lineman standpoint, you're more likely to put him on a blitz or a QB spy rather than throwing him in man coverage or a cloud flat, if that makes any sense. So to put him in a spy, you're double tapping D-pad to the left, then you're pressing A, and then you're pushing that right stick to the left, just like this. Now he's in a QB spy, and he's going to spy Brady, Jackson, whichever QBs your opponent's using. Again, these are going to be crucial to learn. A couple of years ago, it used to actually be double tap LB to do your D lineman and then RB to do your linebackers, but that is gone. I personally like those better. I feel like those were easier to use, but it's not the D-pad, and that's fine. Again, you're double tapping the D-pad, and then you can press whatever you want. I could put Aaron Donald manned up on the running back, just like this. But pretty much learning how to do it. D-pad to the left is D-line, D-pad to the right is linebackers, and then triangle or Y is going to be your corners and secondary. Let's move into our linebackers though. D-pad to the right again, and then I can press with my linebackers. I can blitz all linebackers. I can zone all linebackers. A lot of times in blitz setups or run defense setups, you'll hear me say blitz all linebackers. That's going to be D-pad to the right, right stick down, just like this. You see now they're all in blitz assignments. For blitz setups, that's going to be helpful to obviously know. I can zone all linebackers just like this. But sometimes it'll put them in the same zones, which is kind of useless. But if I want to do, that's how I kind of reset the defense. You can also kind of clear the shift with your linebackers as well. So I can press that left trigger. If I ever spreaded my linebackers, I could clear the shift like that. Obviously, I can pinch linebackers. I believe I need to re-audible, but pinch. You can spread. You can zone all. You can blitz your single player. So if I wanted to blitz my left outside linebacker without going into quick adjust, I can actually just press D-pad to the right and then right stick to the left or right, and that's how you do it. So if I wanted to blitz that right guy, D-pad to the right and that right stick right. So boom, that's how I do it. Now they're both on blitzes, zone them back, D-pad to the right and the right stick up. So pretty complicated. Overall, learning all these is going to be a learning curve. It's part of the game. It's one of the biggest skill gaps in Madden. Learning this, you will get 100% better. You will double your skill level easily. Just learning how to do all your defensive adjustments, and that's pretty much the case with any game. Once you learn how to do everything that's not, basics, throwing the ball, running the ball, you become a 10 times better, Madden player. So again, with the D linemen, or with the linebackers, you can also quick adjust. That's going to be D-pad to the right twice, and then I can, quick select. I can throw X in a hook curl like this. I can also throw X in a blitz. Double tap D-pad to the right, press X. If I want to throw A in a vert hook, I throw A. You can't from certain formations. Certain formations will have different adjustments, so sometimes you'll be able to throw that middle guy in a vert hook. Sometimes you'll be able to put him in a hook curl. I believe also with corners, you can always throw LB in a vert hook, but you can't throw those slot corners in a hook curl. So that's the adjustments difference. I can throw my linebackers in a hard flat. You'll see that type of style of defense a lot this year, where people are going to throw their outside linebackers in curl flats or hard flats. If you want to learn more about that style of defense, check out my coach adjustments video. But again, double tap that D-pad to the right, and then I can press A. I can QB spy. I can man him up on Godwin just like this. I can also throw him in a mid-read. I can throw him in a middle third. That's going to be a deep zone just like this. Learning what all these does, again, it'll be shown in the video what adjustments you have to do, but learning how to do them, learning how to set up an entire defense in one play. So if I want to turn the right side of the field into a cover 3, basically what I would go about doing is I would throw B in a outside third. I'm going to throw LB in a curl flat, and then I'm just going to throw A in a vert hook since we already have that middle third. So what I would do, I'm going B, L1, and A. So simple. 3 adjustments. I can do it in like 2 seconds. If I want to go back, boom, boom, boom. So you see I can do it very quickly. Learning how to do that will be a skill gap, but you will get better as you do it, and learning how to do them the correct way is really important in my opinion. So again, you can easily filter through it. I can set up my entire defense different, just like this, and boom, I have a cover 3 that I can go inside. I can throw A in an inside zone. I can throw A in a vert, or a linebacker in a hook curl. So I just shifted my entire cover 2 to a cover 3 in 2-3 seconds. If I wanted to go back, I go boom, 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 and just like this. So very simple. Overall, it is a skill gap. Learning how to do it will be better. This is probably the most important thing to learn and practice in the game. And I highly recommend you learn how to do these. You practice them. Again, I showed you how to pull up pretty much everything to do. If you want to know how to look at your player, you just press L1 or left trigger, L2, I guess, and that right stick up. So that's how you view your player. If you're playing at home, you can kind of bluff play like this, but when you make adjustments, it's going to completely change the look of the defense. So that's more for 2 people playing on the same screen rather than online play. But yeah, it's going to do for the video. If you have any more questions about defensive adjustments, how to quick adjust, let me know in the comments down below. Again, when you watch defensive videos, the person you're watching is going to show you how to do it. I say all of my adjustments. I say A, you're going to put X in a cloud flat. You're going to put B, your outside corner on the right, in a cloud flat, an outside quarter, whatever. You learn how to do that. You can easily set up my defenses and you'll understand them better. But that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and peace. I'm out of here.